Good morning and welcome to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts. My name is Karen Garrett and I'm so happy that you're here with me today. I know that I'm an artist with a master's, a bachelor's, and a minor in fine art, but I don't know that I also love to sew. In fact, I was shortlisted for one of the sewing programs twice. Anyway, so what I'm going to try to teach us to do is to make our own masks. It's super simple. Here's what we're going to do. It winds up looking like this, okay, with the 4 pleats and the 4 strings. Okay, so all you need is to go into your laundry area where you fold up your sheets and find an old pillowcase. It can be any kind, one pillowcase. Then I want you to get a ruler, pencil or a marker, a hanger. Okay, so some scissors for sure. And we drew with the skewer. You can use this to pull the strings inside out. And if you don't have a skewer and you had to use something like a pencil to do your homework for the global art exhibition, then what you need to do is get a hanger, and I'll show you how to make that into something. Oh, and we're going to get some masking tape, okay? Get some masking tape. So I actually had an old duvet that my mom gave me and some fabric that my girlfriend gave me. So I have a lot of fabric, and so if you have an old sheet too, you can do that. This pillowcase will probably make 3 masks, and so if you need more, just either use another pillowcase or you can go with an old sheet or old duvet. So here we go. Go get your stuff and come back, okay? Okay, so take your scissors and you're going to find the seam to the side of your pillowcase, and we're going to cut next to it maybe 1/4 of an inch all the way around, and on the other side of the seam you're going to cut about 1/4 of an inch, and what you're going to wind up with is strings like this if you don't want to turn them inside out. So go ahead and cut around your hole. All the seams, this side doesn't have a seam, so it goes to here on this corner, so I'm going to go down and up. So do that real quick and come back. Okay, so I cut off this string and I'm going to fold it in half. Let's see if that's long enough. Probably not. So let's cut that in half. We'll use it for later. Okay, so I opened up my pillowcase, and what we're going to do is use our ruler. I'm going to use black. You don't have to use black. You can use a pencil if you want it to look nicer. But straighten it out. Mine's a little crooked on this side. I can eyeball it, but if you want to use your ruler, that's fine. That's trash. And what we're going to make are some rectangles going this direction that are 15.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So my ruler is only 12 inches long, so I'm going to mark it with a pencil at the 12 mark. And I'm going to add 3 more inches. 1, 2, 3.5 inches, and make a mark. I'm going to do it with a marker so you can see it. Then I'm going to do it again. 12 inches. 1, 2, 3.5 right there. Make a mark. I'm going to keep going. Just 12. 1, 2, 3.5. And I'm going to make a mark right there. Okay. So now I'm going to go 8.5 inches. I'm going to line up my black mark with my other black mark, and that's 8.5 to right there. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to put the 8.5 mark right here where I had it at the other 8.5 mark. Line it up and make a little sideways mark so I know where that's going to be. And then now if you want to have a little kid's mask, it's going to be 13.5 by 6.5. So at this point I'm going to get my 6.5 and mark it up to there. Make a little kid mask. Okay, so now I'm going to go on this side, mark 8.5 up and make a mark. Make another mark at 8.5. And then make another mark at 6.5. I can line those up pretty good with my eyeballs. And again, doesn't have to be perfect yet. We're just making the rectangles. Okay, so now at that point, we have cut, there's going to be 3 masks here, okay? Now, oh, this one's 13.5, sorry. So that's 12, 1.5 inches right here, and then 12, 1.5 inches is right there. So this is nothing. And we're going to line up, that's my bad side ruler. So I'm going to line that up. Okay, so now what we're going to do also is we need 4 strings per one, so 4, 8, 12, right? So they need to be 1.5 inches long and 18 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. So what I'm going to do is, so I don't have to cut every one by itself, I think I'm going to go like that, fold it, and I'm going to take my ruler again and see how many I can cut on here. 1.5 each. So that's about 8, let me measure. 12, 18 to the 6. Okay, so that would be right there. That's 18 inches long. And so let's see how many we can go with. So I'm going to go with 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. Do it again. And then I stop there. So at this point, I'm going to draw in my strings. Just one moment, please. Okay, so I have 1, and then on the back 2, 3, and 4. That's for 1 mask. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's for 2 masks, and 1, 2, 3, 4. That's for the 3rd mask. So what we're going to do is cut these 3 rectangles out and cut our strips out. And when you're done, go get your ironing board and your iron, okay? And we'll meet back. So hopefully you got those cut. That's pretty easy. I'm going to iron my pieces. Get them all really, really nice. Go ahead and do that. And while you're ironing, I will tell you what else we're going to do. I did this one by hand, okay? And so what you're going to need to find is some thread and a needle. Well, I didn't think I had any here, but I looked through my drawers and I found this red thread and 1 needle in my bathroom drawer, which was so exciting. And then in my husband's dock kit, I found this from a hotel he had to go on a business trip some time ago, and it had needles and thread in that too. So try your best, and if not, don't rush out for it, but when you go to the grocery store, there should be an area in the grocery store where they sell needles and thread. If you find a needle but you don't have thread, you can also use dental floss, which is very, my dental, okay, well that's not going to be long enough, but I have more in there. So get some dental floss, and it's really strong, and that'll be good to use too. All right, so let's iron and go hunt for some needle and thread, okay? Okay, that was easy. So what we're going to do now is we're going to fold our rectangle long ways like this, where it looks like that, okay? And we're going to do all of them like that. Let's go ahead and fold them. All right, I don't have any pins here, but it's okay. We can figure this out. We just you know, take our time. Now, let's get our ruler. Don't lay your needle on the table because it could fall off if you have a dog or little kids running around. So put it back in your thread like that. Find the middle. So the middle of 8 1/2 is 4 1/4. So we're going to mark right in the middle, and then we're going to make a mark 1 inch to the left and 1 inch to the right. And we're not going to sew in the middle here. Okay. So we're going to do it again. 4 1/4. Go 1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the right, and mark it so you know to stop. On this one it's 6 1/2, so that's 3 1/4. We're going to mark it. We're going to go 1 inch to the left, 1 inch to the right, and we're going to mark where we don't sew. Okay? So at this point, you're going to get your needle. If you've never threaded a needle, then that's my dog. Then I take the needle, and you'll see the eye of the needle. I get it in front of something light colored so that I can see through it, or I hold it up in a window so I can see through the eye hole. You might need to get some glasses to do this, but however you can, just take your time. Make sure that the thread is clipped on the end so it's not frayed, because it'll just stop and it won't let itself go through. Okay, so get my needle. However you do this, you know, it's fun. It's no stress attached to it. Just figure out how to get it through that needle. Your needle, some needles are little and some needles are big. All right, I got it through. Okay. Now, I'm going to double my thread so that my seams are strong. And I'm going to do kind of a long piece. Some people prefer shorter pieces so that they don't get knots in their string. So now here's how you're going to do this. How do you make a knot? I'm going to show you how. Okay, so you lay your string in a circle like that. Let me get a piece of paper. In case you can't see that, my string comes here, I wrap it around and put it on top of each other like that. Now, I pick it up and I take that little tail and I flip it in and up, in and up, and then I twist and then I pull. If it gets in a bad little knot, it's okay. You don't want it in such a skinny knot that it will pull through the fabric, so it needs to be kind of a fat, ugly knot. And we're going to start right here on the end. You line everything up. I'm going to pull it over to the left a little bit. Okay, so take my needle. And you're going to go down, up, down, up, down, up. So go here on the edge, and you're going to go about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. You're going to go down, up. I'm doing what you call load the needle. Up, down, up, down, up. See how it bunches? It's bunching up on my needle. So that's just the fast way to do it. And then slowly pull it through so that it doesn't knot up, and then you don't have to re-thread your needle. And then I'm going to keep going down, up, loading my needle, down, and I don't go past that mark I made. Pull it through slowly, and don't let it pucker like that. You want it to be flat, so pull it nice and flat. Now, how do I make a knot? Right here where you stopped, you're going to go down, up, really tiny, and you're going to take that string where it came out and wrap it around, around, around the tip. Pull everything nice and flat and slowly pull it through, just slow, 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 so it doesn't get a knot where you don't want it. Okay, I do a double knot So I do it twice. So pull it through, and wrap, pull it straight, and then I hold it, pull it through with my thumb, and it has a nice little knot there. So don't cut your thread right at the knot. You want a little bit left over. Okay, so do it again. We're going to wrap over the string at the end, go in and up the tail, in and up with the tail, and then we're going to spin it so it twists itself. And then I'm going to take my thumb and my first finger and I'm going to pull to a nice fat knot, and I'm going to go right in at the next two 2 inches over, 1/4 inch from the edge, and I'm going to load my needle all the way to the end. Okay, so I just finished going across like that, and I'll press it. Take your needle, you don't want to lose it. You still have these two. We're going to lay those to the side, and what do we do with our needle? Stick it up into our thread so we don't lose it. Now, we're going to open this rectangle up and place that seam in the middle. We're going to open it up with our fingers and put it on this ironing board and iron it flat and open. Just like that. So where you did not sew, it's going to have a little hole, and that's how we're going to turn it inside out when we're finished. Okay, so let's take the edges that are open, and I want you to go to the 1/2 inch mark. I'm going to mark with black marker, about 1/2 inch away with your ruler, and then 1/2 inch over on this side, 1/2 inch over down here, and 1/2 inch down here, and we're going to draw a little line that's 1/2 inch, I mean 1/4 inch away from the edge, and that's where we're going to sew. So you're going to start your needle right here and then go to 1/2 inch away. You need to leave some space on the end where it's still open, because that's where we're going to put our strings. So leave a space on this side and this side also. So get your needle out, thread it up, and get yourself a knot. Down, up, and then spin it, pull it, nice little knot, and we're going to start at the 1/2 inch mark right here. Okay, so go down right there, and then we're going to load our needle all the way across. Okay, do that on both seams and then come back. Okay, so this is what it looks like. That's not sewn, and at the bottom same thing. So this is, with the hole right in the middle, that's 2 inches, okay? So you can do all 3 of those, or we'll just do this one and keep going. Okay, so at this point, what you're going to do is stick your thumb in that hole, go to the corner, one corner at a time, and poke it up with your finger, okay? I'm going to stick my thumb back in there. I'm going to find that corner and hold it with my thumb and my first finger and flip it through. Okay, and pull that out. Now, here we go. I'm going to stick my thumb in there. Where is it? Stick my thumb in there. Find the next corner. Poke it up. Now I have 3 out. My thumb in there. Find my first finger. Flip it out. And now I have 4, and I'm just going to pop it all out, inside out, and kind of make it look nice in the corners there. You can stick your finger in there and pull it out to look nice, but that's it. Okay, so at this point, once I get my corners clean and square, you can stick your finger in the hole and pull out the tips so that it's nice and square and straight. Okay, and so at this point I'm going to iron that nice and crisp. Now, here's the deal. They're saying that making masks doesn't necessarily keep you from getting the virus, but that if everyone did wear masks, then it would keep us all from coughing on each other, and it's just smart. So it's not that these will positively work, but you can wash them over and over just like a pillowcase, and you know, it's just better to be safe than sorry, and you know, or just at least feel safe, more safe, and not to cough on our friends, and it keeps us from touching our nose and our mouth, right? So, okay, you're nice and ironed. So get your ruler out, and I want you to, here's the back side. So I'm going to turn, the seam is facing you. So from the edge, we're going to mark 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, and then last there's 1 3/4. Okay, so start from the same side, 1 3/4. So that if you're off, you're off the same way amount. Okay, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, and then the rest. Okay, so we are going to fold this right here on those marks. I'm going to make them in black so that you can see them. I'm going to put my fingers right there and fold it and iron. Nice and pressed. Okay, then I'm going to go to the next one. Put my fingers right there. Fold it closed. Iron that. And the last one, I'm going to fold it closed and iron that one. Okay, so remember, this was the back side and this is the front side. All you need to do is punch it up like that, about 1/2 inch. You can mark it or you can just eyeball it and fold it like that down. So it goes like that, and then you flatten it to one side. So here we go again. I'm going to pull it up all the way across, and about 1/2 inch, and I'm going to lay it down flat and iron it. I'm going to pull this one up flat, just like we were doing before, and I'm going to lay it down on itself and iron it again. You're trying to get 3 pleats. Okay, I don't have any pins either, so just leave that. We'll deal with it. I know I have these needles, but if you don't have pins, I want to teach you how to do this without pins. So you just kind of have to hold it again. Now I'm going to iron the whole thing flat. Okay, see how I did that? All right, now, most of us have tape at home. Just take some tape, bring it, flatten it out again, and then tape it down. We don't need pins. See how smart we are? Some more tape, nice and flat, and we'll tape that down. Flip it over, some more tape, flatten that down. So now it's ready for us to sew the sides. Notice that I did not put the tape all the way to the edge because we're going to have to sew on the very edge. So you don't want the tape, but if you went too close, it's okay. You can pull the tape out. All right. Now again, our needle is in our thread. It's not on the floor. It's not hurting our feet, and we don't want to lose our needle because we may want to make a few of these, obviously, for our family, and our never know, you could donate them to the hospital. So here we go. Now on the edge, I'm going to take my needle. See where it flips up right there, where it flips up? I'm just going to take my needle and poke it through. The needle's kind of dull, but I'm just going to wiggle it until it goes through. Okay, so now it's all the way through. I have my big knot. Okay, now I'm going to go over the edge and back through my hole again. And I'm going to do that a few times. There we go. I'm going to do that a few times. And I'm going to go up through the back side here. And you know how we do. Twist, twist, twist around. Pull it nice and flat. And then slowly pull it up so that we don't get a knot in our thread. Pull it nice and tight. You know how I like to double knot. Double knot, twist, 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 pull it flat, pull up slowly, and there we go. Don't go right on the edge because it sometimes wiggles its way out the hole. All right, so what your goal is at this point, and you can make it as pretty as you want, is to do all the top pieces and then do all the bottom pieces, okay? So all the little top flaps and all the little bottom flaps to make it flat, okay? So do that, and when you're done, it will look something like that. And see the back side, same thing. And then the bottom, all of these are sewn, and then the back side, same thing. So, so that it will, let's see. This is the top. The big part is the top, so it'll go just like that, okay? So do that and then come back. I actually laid my needle on the table. I think you probably noticed that. Anyway, try your best not to do that, okay? Because we don't want to lose our needle. So I think I have a knot, yes. Now get one of these strings, fold it in half. If you don't want to go to that much trouble, take the seam, you can cut that in half, and it'll probably be like, well, we already did that, so we'll have two tops, and then you can have two of these, and you can stuff them in the sides if you don't want to go to the trouble, and then you're done, you're ready. Okay, but here's, if you want to make them more clean looking like this, it's very simple. It's a nice thing to do if you're like at night. Turn on something happy, maybe the Hallmark Channel or Disney. Last night I turned on Home Alone, how they made the movie Home Alone. That was so cute, really enjoyed that, and it was creative and fun. So I'm starting at the edge, about 1/4 from the edge, and I'm going over and I'm going to stop about 1/4 from the edge, okay? Because we're going to flip it inside out. So once I get to that where I want to stop in that corner, I want you to do a little knot right there in that corner to keep it nice and strong. Twist, twist, twist around the needle and pull to a knot. Okay, now we don't have any pins, so if it bothers you, then just take a little bit of tape and tape it closed a little bit, and you can just move your tape down as you go. But we'll take that tape off later. See what I mean? Okay, so we're going to go down about, we're going to load our needle about 1/4 from the edge. So I want you to go all the way to the end, and when you get to the end, do not go across. Just, we're going to make it a knot. Now your thread might run out, which is fine, just make a knot. Mine's getting really short, so I'm going to make a knot, rethread my needle, and go to the end. So meet me there, okay? I'm gonna put more thread. I'm not laying my needle on the thing. I'm gonna remember to put my thread over here. I mean my needle over here so that I don't lose it. Okay, so you get all the way to the end, don't turn the corner. And I'll show you how to end that. Okay, I'm to the end, so I'm gonna pull my thread through there, and I'm not going to go across because I have to turn it inside out. So I'm gonna make my needle go through, and I'm gonna go up and make a knot right here at the end. Pull it down, nice and clean, slowly pull it up. And I like to double knot. Okay, don't cut right at the knot. Give it a little space, put this in your thread. Okay, so now if you had a skewer, then just open up the end like so, and don't push the pointy side in, push the dull side in. And what you're going to try to do is push the whole thing inside out. And it's kind of a challenge at first to get it started, but once you get it started, it'll just go by itself pretty much. Come on. Okay, getting it started is the trick. Okay, I got it. Now, watch. Okay, so we're going to pull it down. We're going to keep pulling it down and pushing it up at the same time. Don't just wad it up because then it will get stuck in a big knot. Just keep pushing it down the skewer, and then it'll be inside out. But if you don't have a skewer, that's why we have a hanger. I love wire hangers. I do all kinds of stuff with them. So here's how you do this. Don't have to cut it. Just bend it in the corner there, back and forth, and it breaks. Okay, that was easy. And so it won't pop through my fabric, I'm going to take some masking tape and kind of make it fat on that end. Fold it down, make it fatter. Okay, that. And so I'm going to take my skewer out and push my hanger in, and I can just pull it all the way through. I'm going to push from the top and pull from the bottom. Push from the top, pull from the bottom, push from the top, pull from the bottom, and at the very end, make sure it comes right out there. Come on, you can do it. Here it goes. See, it came right out the top. So I'm going to pull the hanger out. It looks like that. And watch, I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm just going to keep pulling it, and pulling it. It's really fun. Okay, so now do 4 of those and come back. Oh, do 4, iron them, and then come back. Okay, so one by one, we're going to take the bad end, and we're going to go back to our mask, and we're going to stick it in corner that we left open. If you use your hanger or your skewer, and stick it in there. Make it in there like an inch or so, so that it's definitely good and solid in there. You know where your needle is because you put it there on purpose. Let's give it a little knot. Oops. And we're going to sew from the back to the front all the way through. Oops, see, my knot wasn't big enough. It came right out. You just want a kind of a fat, ugly knot down, up, twist it, and pull. Okay, if it's too ugly for you and you can't stand that, start from the inside and pull through. That way it doesn't show on either side. So down all the way through, we're going to go back and forth a few times to make sure it's going through all that fabric. And you know how I like to do my double knot. Twist, 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 pull. Put it on the corner there. You gotta pull. Twist, 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 and pull. Okay, and don't cut it. Okay, if you want it to, if you don't want the string to be sticking off the edge, or the thread, I mean, then poke it through after your last knot. Poke it through your fabric and pull it far away over there. Scrunch the fabric down and then snip it and then just wiggle it out and it won't even show. So I want you to put all of your strings in each corner after you've done that, and then the very last on the inside, this is the front, on the inside, I'm going to write God bless you, or God loves me. Now, I was able to take that sheet and the pillowcase and the sheet, but I had enough from just one, it was a duvet, but on one side, which is basically the size of a sheet, to actually make, oh, look what I did with that needle. Oh my goodness, you guys, find your needle, stick it in your thread. I was able to make enough strings and enough rectangles here for 38 masks, and so that's what I'm going to spend my evening working on. So even if you just cut them all and then just drop them at people's door and tell them to go to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts and they can watch this video, they can make it on their own, which will give them something to do in the evenings and something to do for their families. But we have plenty of supplies in our homes to actually do a great job and help our neighbors. Don't go to the door, just drop them off. They can wash them, or you can wash them right now before you take them over there. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and work on mine. Thank you so much for coming to the Godstone Ranch School of the Arts. My name is Karen Garrett. God loves you so very much, and so do we. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching. Okay, so it fits perfectly. I hope yours fits perfectly too, and I hope it fits your kids also. Have a wonderful day.